3, 2, 1. It's go time. Welcome to the show. It's go time. This is the ultimate podcast for salespeople and sales managers that are in the final expense industry, who are in the trenches, who got to talk to people to make a sale. And as always, joining us in the studio, the Croatian Tiger, Robert Bazaki. Dylan Wynn is off tonight. He is in Greece doing his thing. Him and his teammate Connor Moody want a trip to Greece because they are doing the right things in the right way. And this business definitely rewards those who get after it and get after it and get after it and get after it. So Dylan Wynn, we love you, buddy. So we got a great podcast here for today. If this is the first time that you're joining us, welcome home. If you're in the final expense industry, you just found the #1 final expense podcast in the world. The only problem is the world doesn't know about us yet. So if you find value in this podcast, please just share it to somebody. We don't sell nothing except for a bunch of final expense. And so please, that's our only fee. Just share it to a friend, right? If you get a little bit of energy, if you get a little bit of inspiration, if you get a little bit of tactic, if you get one little bitty itty bitty thing that helps you serve your clients a little bit better or helps you just have more fulfillment out there in your career, please just share it to a friend. All right, so today we're going to be doing a Q&A. We've done this once in the past, if my memory serves me correctly, but there is a forum or survey or something of that nature in the show notes. So please submit your questions. I want to know what's going on with you. I want to know what challenges you're going through. I want to know what mental stuff you're going through, right? Is it your finances? Is it your confidence? Is it your clients? Is it your leads? Is it your this? Is it your that, right? And we can help you give some guidance. We ain't selling nothing other than... well, we're not selling nothing, right? Just great advice. So, so I'm Pat Holder, been doing final expense for 11 years and, just been very one-track focused, and it's been an incredible ride. And my goal is just to help you have better experiences with your clients, help you make more money, right? And have you get job optional as quickly as humanly possible. What is job optional? It is a synonym for retirement, but that you're job optional, meaning you don't have to work if you don't want to. And that's a fantastic place. Do not wait until you're 67. I was going to say 65, but Social Security just rated it to 67, right? Do not wait till your 60s. Do not wait till your 50s. And all you got to do is ask somebody who retired at 67 to see if those are the golden years. And most of the people say that it is not. So this is to help you get where you want to go in the final expense industry. We got a few great questions here. I did a training call earlier this morning, and these were some of the questions that they had submitted over. And oftentimes I got this from Mike Chu, my coach, and it is oftentimes what we think is most personal is oftentimes most universal. Meaning, what you feel like you are going through, sometimes we feel alone. Sometimes nobody would understand. Sometimes no. Like, I'm the only one that's going through this. No. And especially in our business, like, you are not alone, right? Like, we have the same experiences, right? Like, we run virtually the same leads, and we definitely talk to the same clients. And so we go through the same things. And I remember talking to a teammate when I first started. It was like 6 months in, 4 months in, somewhere in there. It was like 2015. And he's like, yeah, man, we all have the same thoughts. And I'm like, no, we do not, man. No, we do not. If you knew what was going on up here. And he's like, and he named up all these thoughts. He's like, that I want to quit most days, that I can't make any money, that this business is not for me, that my clients are irritating, and this, that, or the other, and like, a bunch of other things, a lot of negative stuff. And I'm like, whoa. We have the same thoughts, man. And I all of a sudden felt connected. I'm like, all right, man. Well, How do you deal with that stuff? Right. And so that's when that was a big pivot point. I'll never forget exactly where I was in the office when we had that conversation. Shout out Jacob Lindsay, my man. He's one of our lead bros now. He's out of the field. Now he's doing our leads, which is awesome with his brother Jordan. So awesome mentors for me in the past. So great. All right. So let's see. This comes from Kevin. So he's saying, hey man, how do you ride? How do you make sense and how do you keep emotional control of the high highs and the low lows? This is pretty pervasive problem there, Robert. Absolutely. This is perhaps one of the most important questions that we all go through. So I got a couple of thoughts. So the high highs, so if you write, let's just say you write 250 before 2:00. Man, you are riding high. You're like, man, this is a great day so far, right? And a lot of times we pump the brakes. We're like, good day. All right, cool. You hang up the phone, you leave the house, and you're like, all right, that was good, man. I'm gonna go chill. So number one is when you're riding a high, when things are cooking, or when things are dead. Right? Is you got a lot of setbacks, like a bunch of stuff going to underwriting, or just a bunch of not homes, or a bunch of people not answering the phone, or a bunch of people just hanging up on you. You got a bunch of people door killing you or stuff like that. Is after a big win or after a big loss, you want to get to the next activity as quickly as humanly possible. I'll say that again and I'll unpack that. Is after a big win or after a big loss, you want to get to the next activity as quickly as possible. So let's just say on the positive side, right, is that you just wrote a $250 double. And they're like, we've been thinking about this forever. Everybody's been so high and these prices are awesome. You're awesome. We're awesome. Our health is awesome. Got approved. Here's our bank. Wait. Before we do this, you got to take it out of my bank. And you're like, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah. So just grab the account and routing number real quick. After you leave a big house, right, you're riding high. The best and only thing you should do, unless you're out of time, unless it's 10 o'clock at night or whatever, and you're out of time on your schedule, right, you get to the next activity as quickly as possible, which AKA means call your next lead, knock on your next door as quickly as humanly possible, right? Because you're hot. Why would you put the brakes of your own business? Right? Like there have been times where like, I don't want to go TMI, but like, I got to go number one. And like my mind's saying like, dude, or number two. And my mind's saying, I got to go to a gas station right now. Right. Or I got to do that right now. I'm like, no. I got to get to the next one as quickly as possible. Right. They got a bathroom, right? 100%. So you roll, unless it's number two. Cut that out. Don't cut it out. So, but you got to get to the next one as quickly as possible, right? Because you got a hot hand. You've got great energy. Do not waste the good energy, right? Because what happens is when we have that kind of great momentum, that positive energy, that flows into the next one, right? And there's a lot more room for error. You can say dumb stuff when you're on fire and they still do it. It's amazing. So when you're riding highs and you got to get to the next activity as quickly as humanly possible, right? And the same thing goes for when you're running, when you got a lot of setbacks, right? So let's just say you're two days into the week and you went blank and it's 5:00. And then, finally, yes. All right, Miss Jones, she loves me. She's awesome. And then a medication comes up that's a red med. $100 app down the drain, or at least that's what it feels like. It's actually not a $100 app or whatever down the drain. She wasn't supposed to be approved anyways. That's okay, right? But it feels like it just went down the drain. Oh God, it feels like I don't know how to erase that feeling. That feeling still sits with me. But you got to get to the next activity as quickly as possible. And that's where the magic happens, especially if you're riding high and especially if you're running low. You got a lot of setbacks. You got to get to the next activity as quickly as possible, right? And so if you're riding a low, like let's just say you got a nasty door kill, right? Door kill means somebody slams the door in your face if you're in the field. Or you have a nasty phone kill where somebody's like, whatever they say, it's like, you quit calling me, like all you assholes, blah, 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 like F-bomb. Like, oh God, Like that hurts. And it's over and over and over again. Hey man, eventually you're going to hit that person that needs you to show up as the highest version of yourself. So keep doing the activities, right, that are required to win, right? So how do you ride the high highs and high lows is activity, execution, busting it, taking action, going the extra mile. So I'm telling you, that's one of because what does that do? Is that emotional? Or is that strategic? Strategic. It is not emotional, right? Emotional is what? I should probably take a break. I should probably take a chill pill because I don't want to waste that next lead. Oh, look at this lead. This lead looks good. This lead looks good. I don't want to waste it, especially after that nasty door kill. I got that weird energy with me. No, dude, go to the next lead as quickly as possible. Dial it, right? And so if you take one thing away from this podcast, I'm telling you right now, is after a big win or after a big loss, go to the next activity as quickly as possible, right? If it's a negative, what you're actually doing is you're actually burying that experience, right? You're burying that experience, even if it's a non-pickup, right? Hey, at least the last worst thing that happened to you was nobody picked up, or if nobody's home. Right? Or if you talk to somebody, and at least in our business, in the field, like we don't really talk to a husband without the wife. We don't talk to wife without the husband. But then, you get a nasty door kill and then an underwriting that's not going to come through. You go to the next house and you talk to that person, and it's like, it's the wife and the husband's not home. It's like, hey, you know what? We need dad to be here anyways. I'm going to visit a couple more families and I'll come back after 7:00. Okay. All right. It's going to be dark by then, so you ain't going to shoot me, right? All right. See you then. All right. At least you've got a good experience that happened after that. So now you have something to look forward to. And so the magic happens when you take action after a big win or after a big loss. I cannot stress you this enough. I can't tell you how much money I've made and how many families I've helped with that, but it's tens of thousands of dollars, if not, add a zero to that. So, and that's easier said than done, right? It's like, dude, like everything inside of me says to slow down. Everything inside of me says to stop. Everything inside of me says that this is not the right play. But what are you casting a vote? Like, what are you casting a vote for of who the agent that you're becoming? If you stop and you slow down, you are casting a vote for that agent that slows down when things get tough. You're casting a vote for the agent you're becoming when things get rough. Now, if you keep taking action, when things get tough, then you're casting a vote for that being who you are. Then it becomes who you are. Right? And that doesn't take as long as time as you think. So how do you ride the high highs and how do you ride the low lows? Is you keep taking action. Going back to the last episode, you stick to your schedule no matter what, right? So you see how this picture is all one picture? It's all just one picture anyways. It's not episode by episode. It's one picture, man, right? This is how you do this business successfully. Right. Another thing is getting lost in the metrics. So how do you ride the high highs and high lows? Is you get lost in the metrics. So let's just say your metrics are, I need 15 presentations for the week or whatever, quotes or whatever your number is. Right. And then you have a really good 6 first presentations and you write 7 applications. Oh man, you're riding high, baby. You're like, oh man, this is awesome, right? Everyone's buying, like it's great, right? I got a lot of commission coming, helped out a lot of folks, and that last person I talked to just gave me some really good vibes. Hey, have I been a blessing to you? Oh yeah, you have. I've been thinking about this forever. Thank you so much for taking the time and care to get me squared away here today. All right, see ya. Boom, you're riding a high, right? And if you got time on the clock, what's your goal? Your goal is to get 15 presentations and you only got 6 up into this point. Well, you got 9 more. So what that does is it accelerates your ceiling, because what happens is if we have a production target and we get it on 6 presentations, well, then we're going to stop. And so you actually cap what you can actually do, because you're not pushing through based on metrics. You're doing it based on production, right? So if you got 6 sits or presentations or quotes and you close all 6 or whatever, dude, get you 9 more, right? There ain't no insurance companies out there like, whoa, hey, Robert, hey, you're writing way too much production, right? We're not gonna commission you on the other 6. All right. No, that doesn't happen, right? There's no cap. The only cap in your business is you. So get lost in the metrics. So that raises your ceiling when you set and you're like, hey, I'm getting 15 presentations every single week or whatever your number is. Right now, that's on the positive side. On the flip side, now you go 6 presentations, you ain't got nothing, right? We've all been there, right? 6 presentations and no apps, that will destroy your confidence if you're not prepared, if you haven't been through it. And so what's your goal again? Going back to the exact same goal, it's 15 presentations and you've gotten 6 and you've gotten 0. Hey, stay in the game, baby. Stay in the game because it's about to get hot. Statistically speaking, it's about to get hot. Okay. So now you just got to go get 9 more presentations. Okay. 9 more quotes or whatever your thing is. Right. So stay in the game based on your metrics and it'll even out the highs and it'll even out the lows because you really don't want to get too high because then we go into cockyville. When you get cocky, oh man, I'm the best at this. Ain't nothing can stop me, man. Like, do we let teammates say ain't nothing can stop me? No. Why? Because once you start gloating that nothing can stop me, something is about to stop you, right? And so we never say that, right? We never say that. Like, we never say like, everybody's been healthy around here. We're like, oh, dude, don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say it, because what's about to happen? It's so weird how that works, right? It's like, I cannot be stopped. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's buying around here, right? So anyways, so by sticking to your metrics, it keeps your highs in the middle and it keeps your lows in the middle as well, right? You almost want to be emotionless when it comes to our business. As far as like you want to be emotionless in your schedule. You want to be emotionless with your highs and your lows. Now, somebody misconstrued this on our team the other day. They're like, I'm confused. You said be emotionless. And he's like, how does that transpire in a home? I'm like, I'm not talking about when you're talking to a client, man. Like we have an emotional sale, dog. Like, hey man, you need to be showing up with optimism. You need to be showing up with joy. You need to be showing up like as the highest version of yourself. Yes. Yeah. We're rolling with emotion when we're talking with people, but you need to be emotionless when it comes to your decisions, if that makes sense. You need to be strategic with your decisions. You need to be committed to your decisions. You do not need to make your decisions based on emotion, right? So that's going into riding highs and riding the highs and riding the lows. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. That's an amazing question that I don't know everybody deals with. So, second question comes from John. Johnny boy, thank you. And this is hey, how do you deal with the shiny object syndrome? And when I talked to him, I had to get a little bit of clarity on that. I'm like, what does that mean to you? Like, what do you mean? Like, do you buy too many cars or like, what are you talking about? And he was talking about like, hey, how do I know like when to start selling other products? Like when do I stop looking over there? When do I stop looking over there? Right. And this is tough. This is tough. And it's really, really hard. Like it seems like the longer and longer and longer you're in the business, the more and more at least for me, like it raises an eyebrow. Like it kind of seems like the grass might be greener and stuff like that. But I'll tell you this, like, as we know with Instagram and different stuff like that, and maybe even in your own industry or not industry, definitely in the industry, but in your own company or even on your team, perhaps is there might be a lot of big numbers. And like, let's just say you're FE specific and then somebody over here is selling a ton of mortgage protection and it seems like they're absolutely crushing it. I'll say this, and I won't dive too deep into it, but not all premium is equal. Not all premium is equal. You don't necessarily know how that person is treating their client. You don't necessarily know their intention, right? There's a pervasive problem of people genuinely not taking care of our clients. And it pisses me the F off that people are in this strictly for the money and they're willing to do whatever to get a policy. And it just blows my freaking mind. And it's just so frustrating to see. But like but you see it, right? You see like, oh my God, this person just wrote that much business. And I scraped and I busted it all day today. And I got a $22 app and it's in underwriting. Like that's happened to me many, many times. And I'm like, man, like it just seems so much easier over there. It just seems so much easier to do that. It just seems so much easier to do that. And that is not always the case, right? And so the grass is seldom greener on the other side. Here's what I want you to ask yourself is, am I fully maximizing the opportunity that I'm in? Am I fully maximizing the current opportunity that I'm in? Am I currently fully maximizing the seat that I'm sitting in? And if it's a no, you have work to do. Just keeping it real. You have work to do. Because here's the thing, is if you're not maximizing the seat that you're currently in, how can you expect to maximize the seat over there? Right? It's like, hey, if you're not doing that here, you cannot expect to do it there. Oh, but things will be better when, right? And so most of the time, now it does depend, like, hey, if there's nuance to this. But like, if there are people around you that are doing the exact same thing that you're doing, like, dude, you just need to lock arms with that person and roll to the top with them. Okay, so maximize where you're currently at, stay focused on where you're currently at, and don't get distracted by the shiny object syndrome, right? It's very, very pervasive. And look, dude, it's, at least for me, it's impossible to kind of like completely shut that out. Right now, like, isn't it interesting when you have a dope week, it's like, screw all that, dude. You know? And so that's what I'm talking about, maximizing where you're currently at, right? Maximize where you're currently at. And that'll help with the shiny object syndrome, right? And it's like, at the end of the day too, it's like, I'm not on Instagram, but like I see and hear about some of this stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't want that as my leader. I don't want that as my teammate. It's like, no. I see the stuff that they're posting. I'm like, dude, that's garbage, man. That's garbage. Anyways, before I get pissed off, I'm going to change the subject. So be careful on the shiny object syndrome. Am I maximizing where I'm currently at? Am I maximizing where I'm currently at? Then you can make a decision. Okay, hey, now that I'm at the top, where do I go from here? Then you can do that. So hopefully that is helpful to you guys, because it is a big problem. And it's so hard not to look. It's so hard not to pay attention, right? Even in our own company, it's like, dude, how'd this dude write that amount of business in a day? How did this dude write that kind of business in a week? How did he do that in a month? It's like, dude, that must be easier, man. But again, you don't know how they're treating their clients. You don't know what they're saying to the clients. Because like, look, dude, our clients are very trusting, right? And we had Nighthawk, one of our teammates. She had somebody that was going to cancel on her. Oh God, I'm about to get pissed off here. They had somebody that was going to cancel on her. It's like, hey, no, these guys are better, right? And then called them. I'm not going to name drop because we're not starting any battles or wars or whatever. So we're all on the same team, by the way, right? If you're in the life insurance industry, we're all on the same team, by the way. So quit screwing with our clients and do the right thing. And so this dude was like, hey, no, these guys are better. And she's like, okay, like Nighthawk's awesome. She's like, hey, if it's better, you should go with them. But let's double check. Right. And so ended up actually he called her. Right. And then they talked. Right. And he's like, yeah, it's $40 less, like 40% less. And it's like, no way, not with whole life, bro. And so then the replacing agent was like, no. Like we marked him as non-nicotine, and like come to find out, he's blatantly lying to the client. And eventually the client was like, oh no, dude, I'm sticking with her. Right. And so you got to get to the bottom of it, but it just pisses me off that there's a ton of people that do that. And it's just, you're not putting the client in the right space. And I hope you can't freaking sleep at night because you deserve that if you're screwing our clients. So, somebody's watching at all times, by the way. So what comes around goes around, or what goes around comes around. Shiny object syndrome, maximize where you're currently at. Maximize the opportunity and the seat where you're currently at before you look. And there is nuance to this. Like if nobody around you is winning, that's when you might need to look. So I'll keep it at that. Maybe we do an episode on that. Maybe take a note of like, hey, when do you change? Right. And so we're trying really hard. This is not a recruiting podcast, but like, I think it's super important that we have that distinction, because I would say 9 times out of 10, you're probably in the right spot. Anyways, so next question is it comes from Kate, is with a Y, K-A-Y-T, Kate, is who do you listen to about finances? There's not a tremendous amount of stuff out there, at least that I found, or at least maybe that's an unfair statement, is I haven't really been looking, but there's a few that I listen to that really just fit me for, my season and the seasons that I've been in the past. For me, for my first 8 years, I just almost exclusively listened to Ed Milet, Bob Proctor, and Grant Cardone. Right? Almost exclusively. And it was heavy Grant Cardone. Now, before you hang me in the streets and feather and tar me, right? I don't know the guy personally, but whatever you think about whoever this is a great principle by that I learned from Mike Chu, is sometimes you got to separate the person from the principle. Sometimes you got to separate the person from the principle. It's like, okay, so you might not agree with this person on how they operate, but what's the principle that they're trying to teach, right? And so, I know a lot of people don't, like GC because of, he's getting political these days or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But like, what's the principle that he's trying to teach? And I really, really, really love and appreciate, and he's changed my life on how to work. Right? Because I was working like a little boy, right? As, in his chapter, it was like, don't be a little bitch, right? That one hit me between the eyes, right? And he means don't be a complainer. But he was very valuable for me, and he talks about money a lot. So if he doesn't fit your vibe, then that's okay. But oftentimes is a great thing to think about is sometimes you got to separate the person from the principle. What is the principle that they're trying to teach? So GC, Ed Milet, and Bob Proctor, just on repeat, right? I would buy everything that I could, probably spent, I don't know, 20 grand on Grant's programs over the years and stuff like that. And I'll just watch them on repeat. And it was just awesome information and allowed me to explode my business. But I would say if you're trying to like at a scale of 1 to 10, like how much have you been actually looking in your search on who to listen to about your finances, right? And so we're going to go over, we don't have it here, but we're going to go over finances on this podcast with final expense, because the money is a little tricky, because it's 1099 income, it's straight commission. You got residual, you got guaranteed issue, you got 9-month advance, you got chargebacks, right? You might be paying for your leads, you might not be paying for your leads. There's a lot of factors, man. And so we're going to be talking about how to manage finances here. But at the same time is go on your search and who resonates with you. Find somebody that touches your heart, that you're like, I really like this person, right? Somebody that speaks your language, and somebody that like, you got to make sure that they're actually making money. And so go on your search is number one. And then recently, because Grant Cardone does not like Dave Ramsey. And so I didn't listen to Dave Ramsey for 8 years. I did before I started the business. And then I listened to Grant Cardone. He's like, don't listen to him. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I got back on the Ramsey train. And man, like if you're in debt and if you are having trouble in your finances, like this is not a jape or a jab, but like you might not have finance 101 down in your own life. And that's okay, right? It was probably passed down from your parental units, your parents. And that's no problem. Like there's just a lack of information. Lack of common, like in the school system and all that stuff, of like genuine information that helps you, get your finances right. So Dave Ramsey, if you don't know where to start, I would be eating his shit for breakfast, right? His content, right? So that sounded weird, didn't it? I would be eating his content for breakfast. What is Happy Gilmore? You eat shit for breakfast? I'll be eating his content for breakfast, right? So he posts 5 episodes every single week, and they're 2 hours long. Right. And so like, you're not going to run out of content. So I've been listening to him a ton, basically every single day. I bought his Financial Peace University to teach to our teammates. And so if you are in debt and if you're having trouble in your finances, that's where I would start. But again, go on your search of like who is speaking to you, and what resonates with you. Right. And then just eat their content for breakfast. Man, that was a weird thing to say. That's all right. We don't have edits on this podcast. Here's another one. Let's see. Money Wise. It's called Money Wise. Money Wise. So Money Wise by Hampton. Let's see. I'll give you a little description here. I've listened to quite a few of their episodes. It's awesome. They basically, isn't this weird? We're a podcast giving podcast recommendations. That's where you know where our heart's at, folks. So, so they interview high net worth. It's been about a month since I listened to them, so I had to look it up. They interview high net worth individuals, and the information that they give on that and the candidness and stuff has just been really cool. So, hey, if you want $50 million, like listen to people who have $50 million. I ain't got 50 million yet, but we're on the come up, baby. So, so who do you listen to about finances? It'd be GC, Bob Proctor. He doesn't talk about finances too much, but he does talk about multiple sources of income and different stuff like that. Just look him up on YouTube. Ed Mylett, he comes from a business very similar to ours. Ed Mylett got rich doing something very similar to what we do. So great guy to listen to. And then GC, Ed Mylett, Dave Ramsey, and then just go on your search. Go on your search. Be curious, and see who you find, and then throw it in the show notes. Right? Like we're not like, dude. Let's learn together, guys. Why not? So, who do you listen to about finances? So that's all I got there. Oh, and don't forget, it's go time. Let's see. Had one more. I forgot his name. I didn't write any names down here. I think it was Kevin. Kevin F. No. It was Matt F. Matt F. It was, and he asked, because last 16 months ago, we took our TVs off our wall and replaced them with whiteboards. Because Andy Elliott said, hey, if you want to change how your business looks in 12 months from now, rip off your TVs and replace them with whiteboards. So I didn't like how our business looked at that time and ripped my TVs off. My fiance didn't like it for about a day and replaced them with whiteboards. I said, okay, baby, you get that one, I get this one. Let's write down our goals. So Matt F's question is, what's on your whiteboard? And we have them all over the place. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 whiteboards just in this room, and we got 3 downstairs, and my fiance's we got them everywhere, right? So what do I have on my whiteboards? Let's just look around. So this one, you can see that. This one over here is skills that I want to develop, right? So I want to develop, I want to learn Spanish. I'm learning Spanish, energy control, mastering. What does that say? It's really dark in here. I want to be focused on reading. I want to be a better planner, different stuff like that. So these are skills that I'm developing, right? I guess I should have them memorized, right? This is a recruiting board. That's a recruiting board. Who do I got in the pipeline? What markets do we want to capture? What are different places that we want to look for folks? Is it job fairs? Is it job boards? Different stuff like that. So, and then downstairs we have our goals. We have our physical goals. We have our financial goals. We have our household goals, team goals, different stuff like that. And if something, different mantras, this is a big one, is mantras, right? So what's a power phrase or power mantra that you want to program yourself with, right? What are different mantras that you want to program yourself with? So, one that's downstairs is I always have more money than I need, and I cannot help but attract a lot of money into my life. This is a great one to do. And we have alarms that we put on our phone, and this is what's been on mine for about a month and a half. And just magic happens when you have great mantras that you're reminded. So, but on whiteboards, we have mantras. And if you like, human beings are extremely adaptable creatures. Like that's what we're designed to do. Right? You ever get bored of your house? You ever get bored of your neighborhood? But like, think back of when you first moved in. You're like, dude, this is exciting, right? And then you get bored after 6 months or a year, or you get bored with whatever the business, the whatever. We're very adaptable creatures, and so we start to not see what's around us anymore. And so what you want to do is, like, once you stop seeing what's on your whiteboard and it's just part of background noise and it's just, you don't even notice it anymore, like erase it, rewrite it in a different color in a different spot. And so that way it's a change in your environment. That way it gets good reminders. So goals, just whatever's important to you, put it on your whiteboard. So, thank you for that question there, Matt F. Oh, and then good reminders too. Like sometimes I've had like to-do lists or intentions or stuff like that. So yeah, super important to have whiteboards and have people in your household on the same page. Because what is your future worth to you? My future was worth taking the TVs off. I was watching too much football. We were watching too much Netflix and Prime. And so we deleted all those apps, or at least I did. And I don't know if Geneva has that or not. After the Masters, I got rid of YouTube TV. I'm like, I'm done. Literally after they handed Rory the trophy, I was like, all right, I'm done. It's toast. And so what is your financial future worth to you? What is exploding your business worth to you? Like, what changes can you make in your environment? They say environment's one of the most important things to a human being, right? And so you might need to change, like if you want to change in your business, you might need to change your environment. So food for thought there, my friends. So I'll say that mantra again for those that may have missed it is I always have more money than I need. I cannot help but attract a lot of money into my life, right? And that's been a beautiful, beautiful mantra after wins and especially after loses. So that gets you, you're always being programmed always, right? Especially if you're on a screen, commercials, it's a $1 trillion industry and they know how we tick and we can't win against them or Instagram or TikTok. We just can't win. Not now. They know how the mind works too well. So, but are you offensively programming your mind? Right. So I want to feel, because this is why I had this mantra is I always have more money than I need. I can't help but attract a lot of money into my life. The reason why I had that mantra is because I was living in scarcity. I was living in not in abundance. I was living in lack. Right. And I realized that I was a slave to money. Right. And so that really helps me get into the abundance mindset. Maybe you guys can relate. And so I always have more money than I need. I cannot help but attract a lot of money into my life. And I just can't help but smile when I say it because it's awesome. So again, appreciate the questions there, guys. Submit your questions to the form in the bottom of the show notes, right? Whatever you're going through, whatever question you got. Like, why do you wear stupid tank tops? Like, I'll answer some ridiculous questions. We want to have fun with this too. And we're in the final expense industry. Here's a dad joke for you. You can't spell funeral without fun. Have you heard that, Robert? No. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I got that from Glenn a long time ago. But submit your questions, whatever questions, use it on the phone. It'll work sometimes. Submit your questions in the show notes. Whatever you're going through, whatever challenges, whatever setbacks, you can just put Susie Q. Like, it doesn't matter. You can remain anonymous. You can put your name. It doesn't matter. I want to know what is going on with you, the listener, right? Like, I could care less about virtually anybody else outside of my circle and my family and stuff like that. But I'm very committed to this industry. Like, what Cody Askins is doing for the industry is pretty awesome. Like, he's connecting so many people. It's so cool. And it's just amazing to see what he's doing there. And so there's a huge need for folks doing the right things in our industry. And my goal, our goal is to have a bunch of agents doing the right thing in the right way, to where at some point people are like, oh, you're doing insurance? Oh, I love you guys, right? You're nothing like those car sales guys or whatever. So, and that takes a collective. That takes all of us banding together. That takes us doing the right things. And so, it's easier when you're dialed in, right, to do the right thing, because we are tested at times. And so, but submit your questions, whatever you're going through, whatever's on your mind, whatever challenges you have. What's up, Chico? That's our mascot. And and we'll answer them in a timely manner. We love you guys. Thanks for being a supporter and sticking around. We just want to help. So, public service announcement. It's free to be kind. Be kinder in traffic. Like, if you live in Dallas, there's not a lot of people being kind in traffic. Well, there's probably a ton of people being kind in traffic, but you notice the assholes. People drive fast and disrespectful, and I think we're losing neighborliness in our country. And so I think it's important to be neighborly Hey, how you doing, neighbor? Give somebody a friendly smile for nothing, right? Pick up a piece of trash for nothing. Be kind for nothing. Pay for somebody's coffee in front of you for nothing in return, right? Be kind to human beings, and that creates a trickle effect that we just can't imagine. We have no idea. We'll never see it, but I think it's important to do that kind of stuff. So, love you guys, and Robert, what time is it?
I think it's go time.
It's go time, baby. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.